Hi everyone, I'm Harshada Tripali. In this session, we would introduce you to Amazon Web Services by giving you an overview of the major services of AWS platform. In this module, you will learn about which are the various infrastructure and platform services of AWS. We spoke about regions and availability zones in the previous slide. And so within these regions and availability zones, as mentioned, AWS offers a broad set of cloud compute, storage, database, analytics, application deployment services. Now, these services are trusted by largest enterprises and the hottest startups to power a variety of workloads, which include web and mobile application, IoT, game development, data processing and warehousing, storage, archives, and many others. So we will soon be seeing what the services are. But to begin with, this slide would give you a fair idea of the variety that's available in the AWS core services and the infrastructure. Now, all these services that we're talking about can be accessed and managed through AWS Management Console. So, this is basically a simple and intuitive web based user interface. So, when you first sign in, what you see is the console homepage, and it basically provides you multiple ways for navigating to individual service consoles. So this is how it looks like generally when you log in. You get to this page. Now let's see which are the infrastructure services that are available within AWS. Now, AWS consists of many infrastructure services that you can use in combinations tailored to your business and organization needs. So you have compute, storage, database, networking, security, identity, and compliance. So let's first look at compute. The most used or common used compute service that Amazon has is EC2. That's Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. This allows you to obtain and configure capacity with minimal friction. It provides you with complete control on your computing resources and lets you run on Amazon's proven computing environment. It is designed to make your web scale computing easier for developers. Now, EC2 enables you to increase or decrease capacity within minutes, not hours or days. You can commission one, hundreds, or even thousands of server instances simultaneously because this is all controlled by web services APIs. Your application can automatically scale itself up and down depending on its need. Also, EC2 is integrated with most AWS services such as Amazon S3, Amazon RDS, Amazon VPC to provide a complete, secure solution for computing, query processing, and cloud storage across a wide range of applications. And you pay a very low rate for the compute capacity you actually consume. So all the benefits of Amazon's scale is basically passed on to you. The agility in computing is brought by EC2 Container Services. Now, Amazon EC2 Container Services is a highly scalable, high performance container management service that supports Docker containers. It allows you to easily run an application on a managed cluster of Amazon EC2 instances with simple API calls. It eliminates the need to install, operate, and scale own cluster of Amazon EC2 instances. You can also integrate your own scheduler, a third-party scheduler, to meet business or application-specific requirements. The next one is Amazon Elastic Beanstalk. So if you don't know anything about AWS, Beanstalk comes to your rescue. You can simply upload your code and AWS Elastic Beanstalk automatically handles the deployment from the capacity provisioning, load balancing, auto scaling to application health monitoring. At the same time, you retain full control over the AWS resources, powering your application and can access the underlying resources at any time. Now, AWS Lambda. It is the cornerstone of AWS, a revolutionary service. Just upload your code, and Lambda takes care of everything required to run and scale your code with high availability. And then you have Amazon's Light Sail. Light Sail was started in 2016. It is customized for people who don't know AWS and is designed to be easiest way to launch and manage a virtual private server with AWS. Now, Light Sail plans include everything you need to jumpstart your project: a virtual machine, SSD based storage, data transfer, DNS management, and a static IP address for low and predictable price. Then let's move to storage. Storage is another infrastructure service that AWS offers. It has four components. That's S3, Glacier, EFS, Storage Gateway. First, let's see the most used storage service of Amazon. That's a simple storage service, popularly known as S3. It is one of the bedrock of AWS platform and an object-based storage with a simple web service interface to store and retrieve any amount of data from anywhere on the web. So it can be used as primary storage for cloud native applications, bulk repositories, data lake for analytics, target for backup and recovery, disaster recovery with serverless computing. So you hear this term serverless computing quite often. It is a cloud computing execution model in which the cloud provider dynamically manages the allocation of machine resources. Now, here the pricing is based on actual amount of resources consumed by an application rather than on a pre-purchase unit of capacity. So the name serverless computing is used because the server management and capacity planning decisions are completely hidden from the developer of or the operator. Now, Amazon S3 is deeply integrated with other AWS services to make it easier to build solutions that use a range of AWS services. The next one is Amazon Elastic File System. So, Elastic File System, or EFS as it is popularly known, came in 2016, and it is a file based storage and can be shared. Now, Amazon EFS provides simple, scalable file storage for use with Amazon EC2 instances in the cloud, in the AWS cloud. Now, Amazon EFS is easy to use and offers a simple interface that allows you to create and configure file systems quickly. Provides performance for a broad spectrum of workloads and applications, which can include big data and analytics, media processing workflows, content management, web serving, home directories, as it is designed for high availability and durability. When mounted on Amazon EC2 instances, and Amazon EFS file system provides a standard file system interface and file system access semantics. This allows you to seamlessly integrate Amazon EFS with your existing application and tools. Multiple EC2 instances can access an Amazon EFS filing system at the same time, allowing it to provide a common data source for workloads and applications running on more than one EC2 instance. You can mount your Amazon EFS file systems on your on premises data center servers when connected to your VPC with the AWS Direct Connect. You can mount your EFS file systems on-premises server to migrate datasets to EFS, and enable cloud bursting scenarios or backup your on-premises data to EFS. Now, Amazon Glacier is a place where you archive files from S3. It is extremely low cost yet suitable for varying retrieval needs. It provides three options for access to archives from a few minutes to several hours. Then you have AWS Storage Gateway. The AWS Storage Gateway services seamlessly enable hybrid storage between on-premises storage environment and the AWS cloud. It combines a multi-protocol storage appliance with highly effective network connectivity to Amazon Cloud Storage Services, delivering local performance with virtually unlimited scale. You can use it in remote offices and data centers for hybrid cloud workloads involving migration, bursting, and storage tiering. Next infrastructure service is database. Now, Amazon Aurora is a MySQL or PostgreSQL compatible relational database engine that combines the speed and availability of high end commercial databases with the simplicity and cost effectiveness of open source databases. Amazon Aurora provides 5 times the throughput of standard MySQL or twice the throughput of standard PostgreSQL running on the same hardware. On the largest Aurora instance, you can achieve up to 500,000 reads and 100,000 writes per second. So that's quite significant. You can further scale read operations using read replicas that have very low 10 milliseconds latency. Aurora is designed to offer greater than 99.99% availability. So basically, it has high availability and durability. So recovery from physical storage failures is transparent, and instance failover typically requires less than 30 seconds. Just so as we are encountering this term failover for the first time in this unit, let's just understand what it is. So failover in cloud computing is a process that allows switching between primary and the secondary component of the cloud platform. It is triggered due to the unexpected downtime or scheduled maintenance. The process is usually automatic, but sometimes needs human interventions. The primary goal of failover is to keep cloud services running, and thus provides the high availability of the cloud platform. If you want to know more about failovers, you can have a look at our video on failovers or visit the link in the reference slides of this presentation. Next in the database is Amazon Relational Database Services. For those who don't know what relational database is, let's first understand what it is. So basically, it is a collection of data items with predefined relationships between them. These items are organized as a set of tables with columns and rows. So the tables are used to hold information about the object to be presented in the database. Each column in the table holds a certain kind of data, and a field store that actual value of an attribute. Each column in the table holds a certain kind of data, and a field stores the actual value of an attribute. The rows in the table represent a collection of related values of one object or entity. Each row in the table can be marked with a unique identifier called as primary key, and rows among multiple tables can be made related using foreign keys. And this data can be accessed in many different ways without reorganizing the database tables themselves. So what happens with Amazon RTS? It makes it easy to set up, operate, and scale a relational database in the cloud. It provides cost efficient and resizable capacity while managing the time consuming database administration tasks, freeing up to focus on your application and businesses. Now, RDS provides you six familiar database engines to choose from. And like all other cloud products, it's highly scalable and secure, available, and durable. The next one we see is Amazon DynamoDB. So Amazon DynamoDB is a fast and flexible NoSQL database service for all applications that need consistent single-digit millisecond latency at any scale. So RDS is for relationship database and DynamoDB is for non-relationship database. So that's the basic distinction between RDS and DynamoDB. So it is a fully managed database and supports both documents and key value data models, giving you the flexibility to design the best architecture that is optimal for your application. Maybe mobile, web, gaming, ad tech, IoT, and many other applications. It is fully managed. You simply create a database table, set your throughput, and let the service handle the rest. It integrates with AWS Lambda to provide triggers that enable you to architect applications that automatically react to data changes. The next one in databases is Amazon Elasticache. It is basically a web service that makes it easy to deploy, operate, and scale an in memory cache in the cloud. So, simply saying, it is a way of caching data in cloud. So, it supports two open source in memory caching engines. One is Redis, and the other one is Memcached. I'm just keeping the description to the lowest minimum possible to give you, whatever information, just the right amount, basically just the right amount of information that you need about an individual product, because this is a very dry topic. So I'm trying to keep all the information to as minimum as I could, but I have incorporated all this just so that you know about all the products that are available in just one video, just to give you a fair bit of idea of what the products are and what's all available in there. So you can, of course, go on Google and research about individual products and get more information. But I just don't want to dump everything onto you at the moment, because that's something which you're not gonna grasp any which ways because there's so much of information. So I thought that I would just limit the information to just give you the major description about the product. Yeah, so that's pretty much with databases. So the first product in networking and content delivery is Amazon VPC. What VPC stands for is Virtual Private Cloud. This is basically a virtual data center where you can deploy your accesses. And it lets you provision a logically isolated section of AWS Cloud where you can launch AWS resources in a virtual network that you define. For example, you can create a public facing subnet for your web service that has access to the internet and place your backend systems, such as databases and application servers, in a private facing subnet with no internet access. So basically, you can leverage multiple layers of security, which include security groups and network access control lists, to help control access to EC2 instances in each subnet. The next one is Amazon CloudFront. It is a global content delivery network service that accelerates delivery of your websites, APIs, video content, or other web assets. Like other AWS products, there are no long-term contracts or minimum monthly usage commitments for using Amazon CloudFront. You only pay for as much as little content as you actually deliver through the content delivery service. It can be used to deliver entire website, including any kind of content, using edge locations. So edge locations is where end users access services located at AWS. They locate in most of major cities around the world and are used to distribute content to the end users to reduce latency. Also, Amazon CloudFront is optimized to work with other services in AWS, such as Amazon S3, Amazon EC2, Elastic Load Balancing, Amazon Route 53. Amazon CloudFront also works seamlessly with any non-AWS origin server that stores original definitive version of your files as well. So that's how CloudFront has been designed. The next one in networking and content delivery is Amazon Route 53. So this is highly available and scalable cloud domain name system. It is designed to give developers and businesses an extremely reliable and cost-effective way to route end users to internet application, and this is done by translating human readable names such as, say, www.example.com into numeric IP addresses such as 192.0.2.1 that computers use to connect to each other. And then it is fully compliant with IPv6 as well. It effectively connects user requests to infrastructure running in AWS, such as EC2 instances, load balancers, or Amazon S3 buckets, and it can also be used to route users to infrastructure outside of AWS. So this is something which is very important and a feature that one should know. Now, Amazon Route 50 traffic flow makes it easy for you to manage traffic globally through a variety of routing types, including latency-based routing, geo DNS, and weighted round robin, all of which can be combined with DNS failover in order to enable a variety of low latency and fault tolerant architectures. And it also offers domain name registration. You can purchase and manage domain names such as example.com, and Amazon Route 53 will automatically configure the DNS settings for your domains. The next one is Amazon Direct Connect. So it basically makes it easy to establish a dedicated network connection from your premises. It can be data center, office, or co-location environment to AWS. Now it also allows you to use the same connection to access public resources such as objects stored in Amazon S3 using public IP address space, and private resources such as EC2 instances running within a VPC using private IP address space. And all this is done while maintaining network separation between public and private environment. Virtual interfaces can be reconfigured at any time to meet your changing needs as well. So the next services, the next type of services is the security and identity services. As you're aware, directories store information about users, groups, and devices, and administrators use them to manage access to information and resources. So, this product of Amazon called Cloud Directory enables to build flexible cloud native directories for organizing hierarchies of data along with multiple dimensions. So, for example, you can create an organizational chart that can be navigated through separate hierarchies for reporting structures, locations, and cost centers. Now, Amazon Cloud Directory automatically scales to hundreds of millions of objects and provides an extensible schema that can be shared with multiple applications. Another service, which is called as Directory Service, which is for Microsoft Active Directory, also known as AWS Microsoft AD, enables your directory-aware workloads and AWS resources to use managed Active Directory in the AWS cloud. So the AWS Microsoft AD service is built on actual Microsoft Active Directory and does not require you to synchronize or replicate data from your existing Active Directory to the cloud. Okay, So you can use standard Active Directory administration tools. So you can use standard Active Directory administration tools and take advantage of built-in Active Directory feature such as group policy, trust, and single sign-on. So in short, what happens is AWS Directory Services provide multiple ways to use Amazon Cloud Directory and Microsoft Active Directory with other AWS services. Then we have AWS Identity and Access Management, IAM as it is called popularly. What it does is that it enables you to securely control access to AWS services and resources for your users. Now, using IAM, you can create and manage AWS users in groups and use permissions to allow and deny their access to AWS resources. Now, IAM also allows you to do the following things. The first thing that it does is that it allows you to manage IAM users and their access. You can create users in IAM, assign them individual security credentials, or request temporary security credentials to provide user access to AWS services and resources. You can manage permissions in order to control which operations a user can perform. Then you can also manage IAM roles and the permissions. And how you can do is that you can create roles in IAM and manage permissions to control which operations can be performed by the entity or AWS service that assumes the role. You can also define which entity is allowed to assume the role. At the same time, what you can do is manage the federated users and their permissions, and you can enable identity federations to allow existing identities in your enterprise to access AWS Management Console, call up AWS APIs, and access resources without the need to create an IAM user for each identity. And we just mentioned about federated users. Just for those who are not aware of what federated users are, we'd just like to give you a brief idea about what it is. So, what federation does is that it enables you to manage access to your AWS cloud resources centrally. With federation, you can use single sign-on to access your AWS accounts using the credentials from your corporate directory. Now, Federation uses open standards to exchange identity and security information between the identity provider and an application. AWS here offers multiple options for federating access to your identities on the AWS cloud. So you can access or you can federate access to your AWS account by using IAM. The next security and identity service or product is Amazon Inspector. Now, Amazon Inspector is an automated security assessment service that helps improve the security and compliance of applications deployed on AWS. It automatically assesses applications for vulnerability and deviations from best practice. After performing an assessment, Amazon Inspector produces a detailed list of security findings prioritized by level of severity. Now, the next one is Amazon Certificate Manager. And this is a service that lets you easily provision, manage, and deploy secure socket layer, transport layer security certificates for use with AWS service. Now, SSLs and TLS certificates are used to secure network communication and establish the identity of websites over the internet. AWS Certificate Manager removes the time consuming manual process of purchasing, uploading, and renewing SSL TLS certificates. Now, these certificate provisioned through AWS Certificate Manager are free. You pay only for the AWS resources you create to run your application and not for the certificates. The last one in the security and identity services is Web Application Firewall. This is a web application firewall that helps protect your web applications from common web exploits that could affect application availability, compromise security, or consume excessive resources. So you can use AWS WAF to create custom rules that block common patterns such as SQL injection or cross site scripting, and rules that are designed for your specific application. New rules can be deployed within minutes, letting you respond quickly to changing traffic patterns. Also, it includes a full featured API that you can use to automate the creation, deployment, and maintenance of web security rules. So now we've pretty much covered all the features and services that are available in infrastructure services of AWS. However, there may be a few which we have not covered in this session, and that's because of lack of time and also its importance vis-a-vis the infrastructure used by the companies or the users. Yeah. So if you want to know more about AWS, you can definitely visit these links, or you can visit our videos on our YouTube channel, which are available, and you surely get more information on AWS. Alternatively, you can contact us through our website or our social media pages, or maybe drop in an email to us, and we'll definitely be able to help you sort out your AWS career, and do watch our other videos to get more information on cloud computing and cloud related careers. Thanks a lot, and keep watching our videos.